Welcome to our deep dive exploring the future of AI and robotics.
Oh, this will be interesting.
We're going to be drawing from some really incredible interviews with some of the leading experts and researchers in the field
Great.
to really uncover where we are, where we're headed, and really kind of answer that big question.
Yeah.
Are we on the verge of creating something that surpasses human intelligence?
Well, the source material you provided, it touches upon some really, really thought-provoking concepts.
I think so too.
Like we see robots learning from YouTube.
Yeah.
We've got these discussions on the coffee test as a benchmark for AGI.
Right.
And even the ethics of AI in warfare.
Yeah. And it's amazing how quickly things are progressing.
It really is.
We've all seen those videos of robots doing backflips.
Oh, yeah.
Navigating these complex environments.
Yeah.
One expert even stated, we are going to meet that species of intelligent beings, except they're not going to be coming from outer space. We're going to build them.
That's a powerful statement.
I know, right?
That's one that really grabs your attention.
It does.
I wouldn't necessarily call it hyperbole. But it really highlights that accelerated pace of advancements in AI and robotics.
Yeah.
Like we're reaching this point where robots can mimic human movements with startling precision, even recognize and respond to our emotions.
Yeah. And that actually leads us into some interesting questions.
Okay.
About our own responses to these robots.
Okay.
You know, we heard about a roboticist who admitted to smiling back at a robot.
Oh, wow.
Do you think we are hardwired to make these emotional connections with machines?
Interesting.
Even when we know
they
don't experience emotions the way humans do.
Well, that's a fascinating question, one that really delves into the nature of human empathy and how we perceive intelligence.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible our brains are wired to respond to certain cues.
Like facial expressions.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether the source is biological or artificial.
Right. And then there's that question of embodied intelligence.
Right.
You know, can we achieve true artificial general intelligence or AGI?
Yeah.
Meaning AI that can perform any intellectual task a human can without a physical body.
That's the debate at the forefront of AI research.
I think so.
Some experts believe that interaction with the physical world is crucial for AI to develop a true understanding of how things work. Like the ability to sense, manipulate objects, learn from physical interactions could be vital for AGI.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And that brings us to Steve Wozniak's famous coffee test.
Right.
He proposed that a true measure of AGI would be a machine that could walk into any kitchen. Figure out how to make a cup of coffee.
That's a good one.
The coffee test, while it's a simplified analogy, does highlight
the complexity of replicating what we consider common sense reasoning.
Yeah.
It requires this combination of perception, navigation planning, and problem solving.
Yeah.
Skills we often take for granted as humans.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
We just do it without thinking.
Right.
And thinking about those skills needed to pass that coffee test.
Right.
It kind of leads us to consider how AI and robotics will impact the future of work.
Absolutely.
Like what happens when machines can perform many of these tasks that currently define our jobs?
Yeah, that's a major concern.
Oh, it is?
And one of the experts we reviewed put it this way. If we create a society where we are needed anymore, if we innovate ourselves out of purpose, what should we be doing?
Wow.
It's a question that forces us to reevaluate.
It really does.
Like the very nature of work and purpose.
Yeah.
In a future driven by AI.
And while that potential for job displacement is a legitimate concern, there's also this opportunity to reimagine work altogether.
Yeah.
AI and automation could free us from dangerous, repetitive, or unfulfilling tasks, allowing us to focus on more creative, meaningful, and purpose-driven endeavors.
So it's like we're being challenged.
I think so.
To rediscover our uniquely human strengths, like creativity, empathy, critical thinking, those qualities that are difficult, if not impossible, to replicate in machines.
Precisely.
Okay.
It's about understanding what we value as humans and how we can leverage those strengths to thrive in a world reshaped by AI.
That's interesting.
And this kind of naturally brings us to those ethical considerations surrounding AI, which are becoming increasingly complex.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, absolutely.
They really are.
And one area where those ethical stakes are particularly high is AI in warfare.
Oh, absolutely.
The idea of autonomous weapon systems making life-or-death decisions is something many experts are deeply concerned about.
Oh, for sure.
And we reviewed arguments from those who believe autonomous weapons should be banned outright. Like they argue that ceding the power to decide whether a human being lives or dies to a machine crosses a fundamental ethical line.
Yeah, I can see that.
We also heard about the Department of Defense's policy, which states that responsibility for killing in war must always reside with a human being, not a machine.
Okay.
But how realistic is that distinction when AI plays an increasing role in battlefield decisions?
That's a question that will become more and more difficult to answer.
Yeah, I think so too.
As AI systems become more sophisticated, like if an AI system makes a decision that results in civilian casualties, who's truly accountable?
That's a good question.
The programmer who wrote the code?
Right.
The military commander who deployed the system?
Right.
These are questions that require careful consideration and debate.
And this brings to mind that classic thought experiment known as the trolley problem.
Okay.
You see a runaway trolley headed towards 5 people tied to the track.
Oh, wow.
You can pull a lever to divert it to a side track.
Right.
But there's one person tied there. Do you sacrifice one to save 5?
It's a tough one.
It's a dilemma designed to challenge our ethical reasoning.
Okay.
But how can we possibly program a machine to make such complex moral judgments?
Well, that's the challenge at the heart of AI ethics.
Right.
How do we translate human values, which are often nuanced and context-dependent, into algorithms and rules that a machine can understand?
I see.
And who decides which values should be prioritized?
Right.
These questions highlight the limitations of our own moral reasoning and the immense responsibility we face in developing AI systems.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It seems like every advancement in AI brings a new set of ethical challenges.
Absolutely.
As we develop increasingly sophisticated systems.
Right.
We're essentially being forced to define our own values more clearly than ever before.
It's true. We're having to articulate those often unspoken assumptions about what's right and wrong,
you
know, about what it means to be human. And this is particularly relevant when we consider the potential development of superintelligence and AI that surpasses human capabilities across the board.
It's a concept that can feel both exciting and daunting.
It really can.
If we manage to create such an intelligence, how will it perceive us? One expert we reviewed drew an analogy to how humans often view other species.
Right.
We often see ourselves as superior and treat other species as resources or at best companions.
Right. Okay.
Could a superintelligence view humanity in a similar way?
That's a sobering thought.
It is.
And it really underscores the importance of approaching AI development with humility.
Okay.
We must acknowledge that we don't have all the answers.
Right.
And we need to be cautious about creating something we don't fully understand.
We heard one expert describe the inner workings of these advanced AI systems as fundamentally alien and strange.
That's a good way to put it.
It's as if we're opening a door to a realm we can barely comprehend.
But alongside those potential risks, there's also immense potential for good. If we can successfully align AI with human values, if we can ensure it's used for beneficial purposes, it could be a powerful tool for solving some of the world's most pressing problems.
Absolutely.
Imagine the possibilities in areas like healthcare, climate change mitigation, scientific discovery.
So there's that incredible tension again.
Yeah.
The possibility of unprecedented progress.
Right.
Alongside unforeseen risks.
One expert emphasized the importance of authenticity in AI, warning against anthropomorphizing these systems, assuming they think and feel like humans do.
And it's crucial to remember that AI, for all its complexity, is ultimately a tool.
Right.
We need to avoid projecting our own emotions and motivations onto these systems, especially as they become more adept at mimicking human behavior. The responsibility lies with us
I think so.
to guide their development and application in ways that benefit humanity.
This entire discussion has really highlighted how we're at a pivotal moment in history.
Yeah, I agree.
The choices we make now about AI will have profound and lasting consequences.
Yeah, it's a time for thoughtful, deliberate action.
I agree.
We need to engage in a global conversation, bringing together experts from various fields. Scientists, ethicists, policymakers, and of course the public.
Right.
We need to collectively determine the values we want to embed in AI, establish necessary safeguards, work towards a future where technology truly serves humanity.
It's been an incredibly thought-provoking deep dive.
I agree.
Into the world of AI and robotics.
Absolutely.
The possibilities are vast. The challenge is significant. The stakes incredibly high.
And perhaps the most crucial question we're left with is this. If we succeed in creating a superintelligence, will it see us as partners, as competitors, or something else entirely?
That's a question worth pondering as we navigate this uncharted territory.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
My pleasure.
It's clear this is just the beginning of a conversation that needs to continue